Up guys, Soul Sports backing up another video, and today is Saturday, which means I will be uploading my first weekly NBA news report type of thing. So let's get started. Let me know if you guys like these type of videos or not. We'll see how many I do. I'm gonna start off like a little small on this, and then maybe I'll increase it as more stuff happens. But yeah, starting off, I just want to discuss the TJ Warren trade real quickly. Now, TJ Warren was traded to the Indiana Pacers with the 32nd pick, for, I believe it was just cash considerations. Like, I think that's it, just cash. But talking about it, from the Pacers side, I mean, they got a great role player, at least a great bench piece. TJ Warren is a great scorer. I believe he averaged he can average 18 points per game. I don't know if he averaged that this year, but he shot well from three when coming out of college. That wasn't really a strong suit. But and they also got their 32nd pick, even though they did trade it to, I believe, the Suns, who then no, they traded it to the Heat, excuse me. But I mean, all around, just a great trade for the Pacers. I mean, you get at least a bench player, so that's gonna be good. And moving on to the Suns part of this, I don't want to say it's a bad trade for the Suns until after free agency, because reports are that maybe they're pursuing a good point guard. But then again, it was reported that maybe D'Angelo Russell's who they would pursue, and then a report came out that they're not pursuing him. So I don't know. But to me, let's just say that they do sign someone in free agency. Obviously, it's an amazing trade. You know, you're clearing up cap to then go out and sign a big name free agency to hopefully contend for the playoffs this year. But then if they don't sign anybody, I mean, what's the point? I mean, I guess clearing up cap is cool and all, but I mean, TJ Warren was a good piece, and not to mention the guy who was drafted in the first round to potentially replace him. I'm not going to get into that though, but overall, I'm not going to grade this yet until after free agency. But if I had to, yeah, we're just going to wait till after free agency. But if they do sign somebody, it's a W for both sides. It's a W for both sides. It's a win for both teams. If they don't, it's a fat L for the Suns, I do believe. Moving on though, next trade we'll talk about, is the Mike Conley trade. Now, Mike Conley was traded to the Utah Jazz for Grayson Allen, Jay Crowder, Kyle Korver, the 23rd pick, and I believe like a future pick on top of that. Now, this is a win-win for both sides. I don't care what people say. This is a win-win for both sides. Looking at it, for the Grizzlies, the Grizzlies were going to trade Mike Conley as soon as they got the second pick. You know, it was bound to happen. So, I mean, this is just the best haul for them. I mean, it didn't really matter. They were going to get rid of Mike Conley anyway, because both Mike Conley and Ja Morant weren't going to play together. Maybe there's some speculations that they could possibly take RJ Barrett, but I doubted it. This just starts a new future, a new dynasty, hopefully for them, a new era. So it just made sense to trade him, and you're getting a young player, at least in Grayson Allen. I don't think Grayson Allen will be anything more than a role player, but I mean, still, hopefully he can develop this like maybe a 10-point per game guy on decent shooting. I mean, he's already 23, I believe, so he can't really get much better than he is right now. So yeah, and then you're also getting Jay Crowder, who's a good 3-and-D guy, a good veteran guy, possibly be bought out or traded again, and you can possibly get a good haul for him depending on what team you trade him to. Maybe like, I don't know, a playoff team that is in desperate need of defense. The Lakers, maybe, if he's bought out. I don't know, the Lakers don't really have anything to trade to you guys. But I mean, and then Kyle Korver, another guy who will possibly be bought out. So all in all, didn't really like get much back in hindsight, but I mean, it's better than just, you know, playing him alongside a Ja Morant and then not letting Ja Morant reach his full potential. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it was a perfect trade for them. I mean, and you're still getting a future first, depending on where that's picked. It'll probably be late lottery again, but I mean, still, a first-round pick is a first-round pick, and if you want, you can trade that too. And then let's talk about it from the Jazz side. I mean, the Jazz, you're getting a borderline all-star guy. It's so surprising to me how Mike Conley has never made an all-star game. You know, he's always a consistent, great point guard in this league. He's a guy like he can give you 20-7, 19-7. He's 31, so maybe that's a little bit on the older side, but I mean, still, you know, he's gotten better with age actually, so that shouldn't be a problem for you. Has been relatively healthy throughout his career. I mean, he's had some times here and there where he's been injured a lot, but I mean, still shouldn't really affect him. Gets a good veteran presence, a good leader. He doesn't talk a lot, you know. I mean, not talk a lot, but he isn't in the media a lot, so he shouldn't be a hothead. This should work out. I think Mike Conley's the only player in like NBA history who's never had a technical foul in his career, which is really crazy. Or maybe he has one, I don't know, but one or the other. I mean, you're all in now. You're all in. The players you gave up, they don't really matter to your success. I mean, Grayson Allen, Kyle Korver is contemplating retirement, and then Jay Crowder is replaceable. And then you guys still have cap space to go out and sign a guy like a Tobias Harris or like a Nikola Mirotic, you know, to hopefully get that stretch four, type of ordeal for you guys. So all in all, great trade for both sides. I like it. I think the Jazz are going to be contending this year. I don't know if they're going to be contending for a finals, but I can definitely see them making the Western Conference Finals. Now, moving on to probably the big topic of this past week is Al Horford opting out of his contract and basically saying that he's not going to be returning to the Celtics. Now, originally he opted out. The thought was he would sign maybe like a $15 to $20 million long-term extension to stay with the Celtics, but no, he said he's leaving. He doesn't want to come back. Well, he doesn't want to come back, but he's not returning. Basically, is the intention that he has. There are a couple teams out there that have shown interest. Guys, teams like the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Clippers have shown interest. But one team that maybe has looked like they showed interest is the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, that fit would be amazing. I don't know how they'd be able to make it work. I mean, they've already started to trade cap, but that cap that they traded for will probably be used to re-sign guys like Chris Middleton and Malcolm Brogdon, who we'll talk about later. But I mean, just imagine if they're able to keep those two and then sign Al Horford, man, that team is amazing. And if you like maybe trade Eric Bledsoe and then re-sign George Hill to a short-term deal, that's a great team right there. That's a great team. Al Horford would make this team a lot better. You know, you saw what Brook Lopez was able to do. I think Al Horford could do that and then some. You know, Al Horford is a great defensive player. He's a great playmaker for someone of his size. He's a smart, intelligent player. He's a great leader. I mean, that could be a great pickup for the Bucks team, but I don't know if that's likely. To the other teams, though, the Mavericks, okay, I like that fit. I like it. Like I said, Al Horford's a smart guy. Defensively, he's well-minded. But do they want to sign him to a 4-year deal potentially? I don't know. The Clippers, okay, I like that fit, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird situation, but any team that does sign him, I think immediately you'll be getting a great player, great 3-and-D guy, a great leader, a great facilitator, just an all-around great player. You know, Al Horford is so underrated. He's not talked about much. When you think about because of his stats. His stats aren't eye-opening. You know, they aren't eye-popping, but still, he's still an amazing player, even as, what is he, 32, 33-ish now, I believe. So he can definitely still give you guys some things. But next I want to talk about is Chris Middleton. I just stated earlier, Chris Middleton wanted, he came out, he didn't come up, but there's a report that said Chris Middleton wanted the max. Now, if you're the Bucks, you definitely do not offer Chris Middleton the max. I don't care what he's been able to do for you. I mean, like, bro, come on, Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is set to be a team player. If you're a team player, you would take roughly 25 to 30 mil, you know, to re-sign. I just hope they don't sign him to the max. That just wouldn't make sense. He's not a max player. I'm so sorry. The Supermax is so dumb. I do think so. I'm sorry. It is so dumb. It hampers a lot of teams. Like, there's like a couple guys who are Supermax worthy. Guys like Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, maybe Kawhi, probably Kawhi too, maybe Harden, maybe even Giannis. But I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that topic really quickly. Don't trade for him. And the last topic I want to talk about is the Dario Saric trade. Now, Dario Saric was traded. It was Dario Saric in the 11th pick for the 6th pick. Thinking about it from the Suns' perspective, I mean, I guess you got a stretch for a guy, but I mean, ultimately, you passed up on Kobe White for Dario Saric and Cam Johnson. Is that worth it? I don't think so. But I mean, yeah. And then for the Timberwolves, you drafted Jarrett Culver. He's another wing. I don't know. I mean, you already have a lot of wings in Robert Covington and Andrew Wiggins and Josh Okogie. I don't know. You should have just taken Kobe White. I thought that would have been a smart choice, but hey, you did it. I don't know. That's a weird trade for both teams. I don't know if a team won that trade. I mean, I guess you could say the Timberwolves did, but I don't know. We'll come back to this trade in a few years. But that's gonna do it all for this video, guys. This is my first episode, I guess you could say, of this series. But hope you guys did enjoy. I have another one of these next week. But I mean, it's Joe Sports, and I'm out. Peace.